Thank you. It's quite embarrassing for me because I will have to improvise something because I was not in the... it's difficult for me to talk in front of the people who, most of them are academics. And what I'm talking about is what we do as a really small group of Catalan Georgists at this time, because we are not academics, we are not economics, and we have other jobs. And what we do is to explain the essential of Georgism to normal people, just focus to people that don't know anything about economic, don't know who was Henry George, don't know anything. So after 8 years of trying to teach some Georgism, with talking about rent of land, margin line, the people, what is this? Well, we don't understand. I find out that if I start with very essential phrase or sentence, like we have, I want to explain another thing. Every year we went to Earth Fair just for 2 days. And we have a stand and we talk to a lot of people. But we find that people from different backgrounds, different ideologies, and we cannot explain the same standard way of economics. And what I found out is I have to change how to introduce Georgism. It depends on the people you have in front of you, right? If you, a friend of mine, and you know that he's anarchist, or he's socialist, or he or them, they are a Marxist, you have to change the focus and to introduce, but you explain the same. But, for example, if you know that you are in front of an anarchist, you have to explain that, well, Georgism is a sort of liberal system that, well, not, is that system that let more freedom to the person and to the people. And the anarchist, okay, that's interesting, but if you are in front of a Marxist, you better to explain that, well, this is a collectivization of the rent of land, because Marxists love collectivization. That's the truth. And if you are in front of a neoliberal, you must explain, oh, this is a sort of liberalism. And they are okay because this is not communism. I change anything, it depends on, if I know more information, it depends on the person I have in front. So that's because in Catalonia we are so behind. I found out that there is another interesting thing. If I start with, I read this, you have the sentence. This is very interesting because people, I read, we have the right to take the profits of our work, but we should not take profit of something we have not created, for example, nature. So this is interesting because people don't have arguments to defend the contrary. And I'm talking about my experience, so. The purpose of this sentence is just to prologue of the concept of the rent of land, the first step, an introduction for people that doesn't know anything about economy. And then we explain about the rent of land and the land value taxation, but I think it's a good base to start. Well, that's people that don't know anything about economics. And then if you explain real examples about speculation, real examples that happen in your own city, or that's what people understand because they lived all this stuff what happened. But if you explain, talking about some abstractions, they don't understand. Well, and to finish, the last year, since, well, near 8 months, a big demonstration that happened in Catalonia, the Catalan Georgians are very working a lot in conferences, little conference, and talk about people, because maybe there is the possibility, the independence of Catalonia. I don't know what happened because we want to make a referendum, and we are explaining about Georgism principles to the extending the big base to the society, because it's very interesting for us, because in a small country people has more control of politicians than in a big country than Spain, that it's really corrupted and it's impossible. But for us it's easier to go to Barcelona than to go to Madrid. If society, if let an important minority of enough important society, not the majority, but a land reform, politicians must do a concession, even in a tiny degree, but a tiny degree that's better than nothing. That's all. Thank you.
Eulalia did not use the word per se, but when I met her, she identified herself as Catalonia, not Spanish, so I was curious about that. While she didn't use the word secession when she talked about a referendum, that's really what she's talking about. And I suggested she have a conversation with Gary Flomenhoft, who's been also very involved with a very strong, for the United States, a secessionist movement for the state of Vermont.